Welcome to the OOV Daily Reflection for Saturday, July 30th. The Gospel reading for today's daily Mass comes to us from the 14th chapter of St. Matthew's Gospel. It reads, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the reputation of Jesus and said to his servants, "This man is John the Baptist, for he has been raised from the dead. That is why mighty powers are at work in him." Now Herod had arrested John, bound him, and put him in prison on account of Herodias, the wife of his brother Philip. For John had said to him, "It is not lawful for you to have her." Although he wanted to kill him, he feared the people, for they regarded him as a prophet. But at a birthday celebration for Herod, the daughter of Herodias performed a dance before the guests and delighted Herod so much that he swore to give her whatever she asked for. Prompted by her mother, she said, "Give me here on a platter the head of John the Baptist." The king was distressed, but because of his oaths and the guests who were present, he ordered that it be given, and he had John beheaded in the prison. His head was brought in on a platter and given to the girl, who took it to her mother. His disciples came and took away the corpse and buried him, and they went and told Jesus. I want to provide a little context to this gospel passage. Herod, who is mentioned in this passage, is not Herod the Great, who ruled all of Israel during the birth of Christ. The Herod mentioned in today's gospel passage is Herod the Tetrarch, who is one of the three sons of Herod the Great. And he ruled 1/4 of the kingdom once ruled by his father. Thus, this is the reason he is called Herod the Tetrarch. Therefore, when he married the wife of his brother, who also ruled another quarter of his father's former kingdom, the stakes of the situation involving the daughter of Herodias become much clearer. The Tetrarch can't be seen as being weak or cowardly, especially since he was bold enough to take the wife of his brother as his own while continuing to rule a quarter of the great kingdom that once was Herod the Great's. So he had to proceed cautiously, or at the very least he had to proceed with a plan that he thought would protect his ruling of his kingdom. So therefore he had to proceed forward with the execution of St. John the Baptist, or things could get worse for him in his mind. Now, everything I just described does not justify the evil thing done to the innocent St. John the Baptist, but hopefully you now can see the context for this incident. So if we go back to the beginning of the gospel passage, we hear Herod having second thoughts about his actions in regard to killing St. John the Baptist. Quote, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the reputation of Jesus and said to his servants, "This man is John the Baptist. He has been raised from the dead. That is why mighty powers are at work in him." Unquote. So Herod the Tetrarch was wrong about Jesus and his mission. And furthermore, he had no idea that St. John the Baptist was to be the herald, the precursor to the Messiah who was Christ. But his thoughts do reveal that the most powerful, selfish, and even sinful people in the world still have to answer to God and his justice. There is no absolute power outside of God. And this reality is one that should bring fear to those who operate out of sin, but also for those of us who walk through this world and are sometimes taken aback by other sinfulness, or struggle with the injustice that we see, or maybe in some senses despair because this world does seem to be filled with so much sin, that again, God is all powerful. God will take care of these realities. He began by sending his Son to redeem us all, and when Christ returns, all will be set right. So we, for our part, must live out the two greatest commandments, and we need to seek justice for all as much as possible by addressing the sin in this world. But again, when people like Herod the Tetrarch do their evil things, We don't even have to understand why, but we should know that God will resolve these realities even if we can't address them. And furthermore, we know that anyone who is innocent who dies for Christ not only imitates Christ himself, who is innocent, who is killed for us, but also points to the reality that we don't have to know why certain things happen in this world. We just know that our loving God will set all right and bring forth blessings for the kingdom through these realities if we continue to have faith and trust in him. Our Lady of Victory, pray for us.